Yeah, I'm outside in an AMG.
Hi everyone, so today we'll be creating an Apple style UI video. So if you are a beginner and want to learn Apple style, then you can start from here. So in the starting you can see there is this scene with the background, and let's do the first scene. New composition, and we'll make it 1080 by 1080 to make it a square format, and frame rate I'll keep 60. Hit OK. New solid, and I'll be selecting grayish color for the background, and I'll rename this to BG. And now I'll be selecting this rounded rectangle tool. Make sure the stroke is off and the fill is selected to white. While holding shift, I'll drag with my mouse like this. Control Alt Home to bring this anchor point in the center, and let's rename this to rounded square, and let's bring it in the center. To bring it at the center, what we can do is head on to align, click here, align horizontally, and click here, align vertically. Now, I'll head on to effects and presets and search for drop shadow to differentiate this from the background. Put it over here. Increase the opacity, distance, and softness to give it this look. I'll be writing the text. As you can see over here, every single text layer is different. So one is a single text layer, then 4 Jan and Tuesday. So now we are going to animate this. Okay, so I'll first select all of that and bring it at the center of this. For the font style, I have selected Oblivion, and let's animate. But before animating, we'll be using a script. Okay, the script will be bounce CR, and I will also put this in the asset folder so you'll be able to access it. And now for the animation to begin, first I'll select this rounded square, hit P for position, go ahead and again hit P for position, go to the start, shift T to open opacity keyframe, click on opacity, go to the end and again click opacity. Now go to the start and make this 0. Now select select only the position and click on overshoot position and bounce it, and then bring this over here. So you get this animation, but it's too slow. So simply I'll bring this closer. And I have reduced the amplitude to 23. So there's less shake towards the end. And after that, I'll select this opacity, hit F9, and then drag it towards the left. So you get this animation. And now for these, simply just select this one. Okay, we'll start with this and then hit P for position, hit Shift T to open opacity keyframe 2, go ahead and again click both the keyframes. Now head on towards the first frame or first keyframe and bring this outside. Make the opacity 0. So it will come in like this. Select this keyframes, put it at the start. Okay. Now select these two keyframes and then again bounce it. Now select this, F9, and drag this towards the left. As you can see, it's too delayed. So I'll first hit U over here to see the timing and place it along here. And again, simply reduce the amplitude. And now simply I'll just copy this, hit V to paste it, then hit U and select the position keyframe at the end, and we'll just simply drag it over here. And at the start, let's put it over here. So you get this animation. But now I have to again select this and bounce it. Make this to same 19. And then I'll fast forward this section where I'll do the same thing to this text and this text. And after completing this, we just simply have to do one thing, which is select all of these and track matte with a rounded square and enable the eye icon on the rounded square. Now you get this animation where it is not present when it is outside the square. Only it becomes visible when the text is inside the square. And from here, the next scene is the mouse pointer also comes in. So you can use a PNG for this mouse pointer, but I have a preset which I'll be using. Okay, using a PNG is also fine. I'll just head on to my effects and presets and just bring my preset over here. Let me rename this to cursor and let me change this color to orange. Head over here, change this to hand cursor, hit S and I'll make this small. Again, if you don't have this, just use a PNG. Put this over here. Now I have to simply select P for position. Go ahead. Again, click on position keyframe. Shift R for rotation. Go to the start, click on rotation keyframe. And again, click on the rotation keyframe at the end. Like this. And I want the rotation to be like this. Okay. And in the start, I want the position to be over here and rotation towards the opposite side. So you get this type of animation. But now we want to smoothen it. So select this keyframes, F9, drag these towards the left. Okay, so we get these animation. And now for the next part of the animation, simply select all of these and parent link with rounded square. Right click new null object and change this color to purple. Rename this to cursor null or cursor control. And I'll copy this and rename this to rounded square control. And connect the rounded square to the rounded square control and connect the cursor to the cursor control. And after this animation, I simply select this, P for position, Shift S for scale, deselect this, click on both of this, go ahead and drag this up over here towards the top and shrink this down like this and make it a bit longer. So, it takes this shape and simply select this F9 and drag this towards the left. So you get this type of animation. And for the cursor, I simply have to select the cursor control and first I have to hit Y and place this cursor control in the middle of this cursor. Then hit P for position and Shift R for rotation again. Click on both of them. Go ahead, drag this up and rotate it. Select this F9, drag it towards the left. So you get this type of animation. And from here, again, we have to bring this down. So simply hit Ctrl D to bring another rounded square control into the action and connect the rounded square control to this. And from here, simply I have to just hit P for position and delete this first and click on the position keyframe. Go ahead and drag this down like this. Select this F9 and this time I want the starting to be slow and end to be fast like this. And as you can see, it is going very slowly. So I'll just bring these closer. Select the end keyframe and drag it a bit up over here. Okay. And just around here, what I'll do is cut the frame. So select these rounded square control 2, and these all, hit alt and right bracket to cut them. And from here again I'll bring in a new rounded rectangle tool, make something like this. Okay, and rename this to round rectangle small, and again copy the drop shadow from this and paste it over here. Hit Ctrl Alt Home to bring anchor point towards the center, and just bring it when this ends over here. Okay, and now we have to match the timing and the placement. So I'll first bring it out on top. Okay, put it over here and hit P for position. Go ahead and just bring it a bit down like this. Select this keyframes, bounce it. And now just bring these keyframes closer. So as you can see, it's overlapping here a bit. So what I want to do is basically bring these a bit more back by cutting it earlier, and bring this over here. And now for this animation, I have to add another text layer. So new text, and I'll use the plus sign key, Control Alt Home to bring anchor point towards the center and place it over here. Make the fill a bit off white, something like this. And then I simply have to do one thing, which is again hit Alt and left bracket to cut it, and basically just parent link this with our round rectangle small, and hit on Shift R for rotation, and head on to effects and presets and add a fill on this. I'll click on rotation keyframe and click on the color keyframe. Go ahead, and as you can see over here, when it comes down, there's this rotation. Bring this square here, and I'll just change the color first. Go ahead, just rotate it and change the color to red. Select these, F9, and then drag this towards the left. So you get this animation, but it's too fast, so I'll drag this. Okay, so your animation will look something like this. And then this will come down. As you can see, it will come down. Okay, and it will turn red over here when this comes down. So somewhere around here, I'll simply select our cursor control, click on the position, and Shift R for rotation, and just go ahead and bring this over here. Okay, I have to make sure that the cursor is at the top. Put this over here, and for rotation I want to make it like this. And again select these. It's already noised, so I want to bring this here. Okay, and when this falls down, there is an animation, so let's make that too. So when this falls here, we need to start the animation. First, I need to select an ellipse tool, delete the fill, enable stroke, and make this red. Simply make a circle like this, Control Alt Home, rename this to red glow circle, and I'll change this to green. Put this at the center over here and just below our rounded rectangle small. Hit S for scale. Go ahead, again scale, go to the start, make this 0. Hit Shift T for opacity. Bring this over here, make it 0. Go ahead over here, make it 100. And again, just copy this and paste it over here, which is again 0. So first it will be 0, then 100, and then 0 again. Now simply select these, okay, F9, and drag this towards the left. And as you can see, the timing is off. So I need to bring this over here and just simply select the keyframes and drag this towards the left. Drag this here like this. So there's a smoother animation, but the timing is still off, and the placement too. So simply I'll move the position over here, and at the end scale, I'll just increase this. Okay, so you get this animation. But as you can see, there's only one. So I have to just hit Control D to copy this and move this a bit forward. And one thing I forgot to do is offset these. So I'll just do it now. Bring 4 up 2 frames ahead. Then this 4 and this 8. So it will come in like this. And from here, you can see it goes down, okay, like this. Now it's simple to do. So basically after this, you have to just hit Control D to make a cursor Control 2 and connect this cursor control to this. And hit U now on the cursor Control 2 and delete all the keyframes. Hit position and rotation again. Go ahead and click this again, but before that I need to bring this down. New null object, and then just copy this name, paste it, and write here control, and simply just bring the anchor point by hitting Y and bring it towards the center of this. Now I'll cut this from here, okay, because I want to start it from here. Now simply correct round rectangle small to this control, okay, and click on the position keyframe. Go ahead, drag this down over here at the bottom, select this F9, and now we want a faster at the start and slower towards the end. And we also need to move our this. So remember, we made cursor control 2. Now simply hit position shift rotation, which we have already placed our keyframes, and then at the end keyframe, just simply I'll bring this down over here. And as you can see, the cursor is also facing down. Let me just bring it over here and turn the rotation to something like this. Select this F9 and drag this towards the left. Bring this over here to match the timing. And at this time, we'll make this scene. So to make this scene, again, rounded rectangle tool, make sure the stroke is off and the fill is on. Make a big, rounded rectangle like this. Rename this to big. Copy the drop shadow and paste it. Control Alt Home to bring anchor point in the center. And now I'll just, skip the text of this. Let's make this design. So select rounded rectangle again. This time select purple, light purple, and make something like this. Control Alt Home. Okay. Let me make it lighter. And then simply I'll just rename this to purple line. Hit Control D. Bring one over here. Change the color to orange. Hit Control D. Bring one over here. Change the color to blue. And we need to, do the animation for this. But before that, select all of them and parent link with big rounded rectangle. Select all of them. Alt and left bracket to cut it because we don't want it at the start of our animation. We want it from here. So now simply I'll just select my big rounded rectangle, hit S, go ahead here, again hit scale, go to the start, make this 0, Shift P for position keyframe on both the start and end. Now go to the start and bring this down. So it comes up like this. Now select these, bring them closer and click on selected and bounce it. But as you can see, it's too much. So we need to reduce this. Reduce the amplitude. And here we have to also, do this. So select this all, hit S, click on the scale keyframes on all of them. Go ahead. Click on the scale once again. And go to the start keyframe. Select all of them. Make this 0. F9. Drag this towards the left. And now we have to offset them. So first purple, then the orange, and then the blue. Now let's see the animation. Okay, so this is how our animation will look like. The last scene is for you to do. Okay, this last scene. So it is simple. All the animations I have taught will be the same. Just bring one PNG of this and bring the cursor over here. And when it clicks, change the background to black and change these colors. So hope you have learned something new from this video and got to know something about the Apple UI animation. See you in the next video.